I love New Orleans. I love any town where a nickel's worth of beads will get you closer to second base than dinner and a movie will here. But I made a mistake the last time I went to New Orleans. I went with my wife and my mother. Never do that. There is nothing worse than walking down Bourbon Street with your mother showing off her boobs for beads by lifting up her skirt. I didn't even know she owned tassel loafers. And I often get asked if I think weed ought to be legalized here like it is out in Colorado. I don't know that I should get a vote. I do stand-up comedy. Can you imagine if this place had a 2-bowl minimum instead of a 2-drink minimum? I'd never have to write another joke. Just stand up here and throw M&Ms. You guys would laugh at yourselves. I am an attorney. I know, I don't look much like an attorney. The tattoos, the long hair throws everybody off. But I come by that confusion completely naturally. I come from a mixed-up household. My mother was college educated, had a master's degree. My father was a redneck. We were the only trailer in the park with a lending library. We learned how to pair our wine with our ramen noodles. Little tip, Boone's Farm goes with all the flavors. My wife and I have cute little pet names for each other. She calls me the big guy. I call her Karma. I have to give my wife credit, though. She does think I'm the world's greatest lover. But what does she know? She used to work at Sonic. You push the little red button, she comes. She has this thing for shoes. Ladies, I will never understand why you pay hundreds of dollars for designer name brand shoes. Because you're not doing it for us guys. Because if you are ever interested in a guy who knows the difference between patent leather peep toe Jimmy Choos and platform peep toe Christian Louboutins, he's not interested in you. It's the shoes or your brother, but it is definitely not you. And I don't understand what some women think when they get dressed. I saw a lady just the other day with a deep V-cut t-shirt on. Said Guess across the front. I was not thinking of a designer name brand. I was thinking you're almost 50 and those aren't at your waist. I'm going to guess silicone. And I know those are a little bit stereotypical, but I believe in stereotypes. I think they exist for a reason, and every time I say that, it gets me in trouble. Somebody goes, I know so-and-so who doesn't fit that stereotype. Of course you do. If you didn't, it wouldn't be called a stereotype. It would be called a fact. I'm sure somewhere there's an Asian woman who can drive and did not graduate in the top of her class. I'm sure somewhere there's a black man who can swim and understands hockey. I'm sure somewhere there's a Mexican who lives by himself and never carpools. I'm sure somewhere there's a police officer who prefers tea and salad. Just like I'm sure somewhere there's a priest who prefers altar girls. I know that's a sick joke, but I'm a sick man. I have actually had 3 strokes in my life. 3. And I have the worst timing when it comes to strokes. If you have not had a stroke, I don't recommend those. I had my first stroke while riding my motorcycle. I mean, I was screwed. I was more screwed than an emo girl in high school. I was more screwed than a tube sock at Comic-Con. I mean, I was screwed, but that's not the worst. Not the worst. The worst was my second stroke. I had my second stroke while having sex with my wife. You know, they say if you think somebody's having a stroke, have them stick out their tongue. If they are, it'll turn to one side. Same thing happens with Mr. Happy. It was like, who am I kidding? I'm a white man. It was more like, eep. I looked down at my wife, I went, babe, I can't get off. She looked up at me and she said, neither can I with you making faces.